the good, the bad, and the killer UX writing. This is your host, Justin Palm, coming live from my bunker in Nashville, Tennessee. The blinds are still closed. The dog is still in his crate. And the coffee is still flowing like wine. The ASMR. Oh, my dog's barking again. Okay. All right. After this episode 4, I will go let him out. Reminder, these are Un-AI over here at KXW. Radio for the tech world. For design, for UX writing, for product design. I hope some of our product design friends are listening to this just to kind of understand our world and the pains that we go through. Product designers, we love you so much. Product managers, marketing people, really all the disciplines. We love working with all of you. Developers, I especially love working with developers because they're crazy and fun and very creative discipline, which I realized a couple years ago I never knew. I kind of associated like software with like computers and just kind of logic and stuff, but I just didn't understand how like wild and crazy they can be. And I love working with developers. I have a standing order. What am I, like a general in the military or something? In companies that I work with, really try hard to send messages to the developers that if there's anything they want me to look at, send it my way real quick. I'll turn it around as fast as I can. Before launching, because sometimes they're working on shipping something and it's never been reviewed, and then if they think, oh, this guy Justin is I see his memes posted on the Slack channels and he said that he's willing to look at stuff, so let's have him look at this quick sentence before we ship it out tonight. And we're all heading out for our Thanksgiving dinner the next day, or holidays or whatever, I don't know. I guess it's that time of year when I'm recording this, but and then they send me stuff and then gives me stuff to look at, and it's fun. It's like, oh, what is this? And then, another thing that people should understand about UX writers is that if you send us something, any good UX writer worth his or her or whoever's weight in, gold or whatever is going to take a reasonable look at how much time they should devote to it. So I think sometimes, and I could be wrong, there's an idea where people don't want to send something to us because they think that we're going to stop the train. And we're going to take it apart and we're going to deep dive into it. And we're going to say, well, we need a month to research this and do term audits and like reinvent everything. And have I done that sometimes? Yes, I have. But I try not to do it anymore because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't help anyone. And I'm a helper. I'm here to help people. I'm here to make you laugh and smile in this podcast. But in my day-to-day job, which is very buttoned up and super serious, I try to just get the work done based on the amount of time that we have to do it. So if you tell me that this is due in a week, I will devote a couple days to hit that deadline, and I will do the best I can to get the copy up to snuff and polished, and maybe there's a couple terms things to look at, maybe do a lightweight audit on some stuff, and let's get this out the door. Done is better than perfect, all that good stuff, those wonderful cliches that we can all get tattooed on our forearms. But wow, I'm going off the rails here, but I really think sometimes people don't reach out to us because they think that we're going to hold up the shipping date. And I am here to tell you that I don't want to speak on behalf of all UX writers, but I will take some license and say we try to not do that. So we're going to do the best we can. If you say that you have an hour to ship it and you want me to look at a sentence, I will maybe add a comma if it needs it, and I will say this has the rubber stamp seal of approval of straight edge content design, which, by the way, I must mention to you, dear listener, if you know of anyone who needs any help with the words in whatever time frame that they need it turned around in, like I just talked about, I am open for business. I am taking on new clients. I charge $100 an hour. We have full transparency over here at KXW and Straight Edge, and I will help you with your project. So I'll do the best that I can. I also have some amazing friends in this agency. If there's something that I don't think that I can actually do, or maybe I don't know what that would be, honestly. But if there's some kind of project that's like, we need 3 mastermind UX writers on this thing, I have a lot of friends and people who are ready. They are chomping at the bit, and they are pencils sharpened, paper down. The test is starting, and we're on a roll here in episode 4. We're going to talk about progressive. Finally, after all this delayed stuff from last episode, what else are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the awards categories we're going to announce. And we're going to talk about this story about my sister and her reaction to a new YouTube feature that I forgot to mention last time because this is unedited. And the other thing I'm going to talk about is I think I'm going to push this to the next episode because I like to keep these little tidbit episodes just short and sweet, maybe between 10 and 15 minutes. Episode 5, I'm going to talk about titles. What is going on with our titles? Are we UX writers? Are we content designers? Will we ever know? I don't think that we will, but I do have some brief thoughts on that, and I don't really have any strong opinions, honestly, but I do have some things to share, and I'm just kind of delaying as I pull up my awards categories. What do you want to start with? Progressive or the awards categories? Let's dive into... Actually, let's take a left turn. Let's tell this story time about my sister and a YouTube pop-up. I was sitting in the car with her, and this ties into... I'm going to take a little sip of... Okay, that's Liquid Death. It's still the Psycho Cider, my favorite. The other good ones are Killer Cola. The other good ones are, well, I'm just going to talk about the good ones when they pay me to sponsor them. So I'm going to hold off on that until future dates. I'm sitting in the car with my sister, and this ties into what I was talking about one of the other episodes about Google and like making sure that your product announcements match the expectations that the users will have. I don't remember exactly. It was some kind of big, like, YouTube reskin, or maybe someone who knows can drop it in to me and I'll put it in the show notes or something. But it was some kind of, like, big YouTube redesign. And it honestly was kind of big. And I thought, like, oh, this is interesting. There was, like, new features. There was new look. There was new things. And I work in this space, and so I think I kind of got a little blinders on, and I kind of thought it was like, what am I trying to say? Sorry, stick with me here, please. We're about to get to the awards and some progressive stuff. I thought that the hype matched the features, honestly. My sister was on her phone. She was trying to find me a funny comedian YouTube video, and this thing popped up, and her reaction was so frustrated. She was like, ugh, get this out of here. And she like clicked the X as fast as she possibly could because she was trying to get to the video. And I thought there was a team or multiple teams at YouTube who spent probably 6 to 12 months. Maybe they did it in a month. I don't know. They spent a lot of time on this. And literally she just was like, get this out of here. Now, it was just honestly like someone took like a big bucket of water and just splashed it on my face, because in the tech world, we get to the point where we read our own newspaper And we think that everything that we're doing is like important to all the users and everything is blah, 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 blah. And we really do, we would serve ourselves, right? Not serve ourselves. We would do well and serve our users if we thought more brutally, since we're at Killer UX Writing, about how will the average user actually respond to this new feature. Is this something that they actually want? Is this something that's going to resonate with them? My sister likes YouTube funny videos. She doesn't really care if the look changes. If they change the color from gray to blue or something in the layout. So we just need to be careful. That's all. That's the only story there. So we're going to move into progressive, and then we're going to talk about the awards. I cannot wait. Literally vibrating. My hands are vibrating, if you could see me right now, to show you this progressive stuff or talk about it, since we're not doing video. One more sip of coffee, if you'll allow me. Okay, I finished the coffee for the day. Progressive is just crushing it out there. Their minimalistic layout just touches my heart in so many ways because I am a minimalist. They have white with bold black text with thick line weights. They've got, I'm looking at it right now. They've got progressive in the top left, their brand. They've got auto, your policy. They've got thin lines of box around. What I'm talking about right now is the payment screen. After you pay, they send you this screen, and it's one of the most, I mean, Michelangelo, if he was dropped into Silicon Valley and handed a MacBook Pro, not just an Air, like a Pro, a super-powered MacBook Pro, he would not be able to sculpt this progressive payment screen. At the top, it's got a little car, a cute car, which is actually looks like the first car I ever owned. The Honda Accord, light blue, baby blue. Shout out to that car. I didn't name it or anything, but shout out to that car. If you're still alive, it was a 1985 model. It's probably dead. I don't want to think about that. But what else have they got going on this page? It's just very well designed visually, and that's not necessarily UX writers' job, but we do think about it a lot, and we give a lot of feedback on time check, 13 minutes in. All right. We give a lot of feedback on how things look and you know, nice ways when we're working with people and collaborating. But the top headline says, all done! Exclamation point. 2 words. That's it. It's the shortest headline in the world. Exclamation point is like exciting. Get on. You know what it tells me as the customer? I'm a progressive customer, unashamedly. Will I ever leave progressive? After this episode, I probably won't be allowed to. I'm probably just going to force myself to just be a lifer. Unless another company can save me $5 a month, and then I'll switch in 10 seconds. But no, just kidding. I really do like progressive. Flow is an interesting one. I'm not going to get into that. That's more of a brand decision, and I don't personally like react to that, I guess. But flow, wow, there's a lot going on there. I guess they had to do something against the Geico Gecko in the insurance wars, but flow, I'm not going to talk about flow. I'm going to talk about UX writing. And unless she is the UX writer there. I just thought of that. Maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe she's just crushing it with this UX writer. All right. I'm going to talk about the page hierarchy and information in a second.'re going to get into a little bit of the weeds, but I think that I'm going to try to make it interesting. So as a customer, what this tells me, when you write something like all done exclamation point, you just tell me, just get on with your day. You didn't want to take 5 minutes to pay your auto insurance. You don't even want to have auto insurance. You just are required by the federal government of the United States of America to have auto insurance. You don't even want auto insurance. You don't want to pay for it. It should be free. It should be a human right? Like healthcare and all those other things. We're humanitarian over here at KXW. But anyway, we just want to get on with our day, and you understand that about our world, the progressive people, and you just say all done. You don't say you paid this thing and blah 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 blah. Underneath it is a sentence that says you can check your billing details anytime in billing and payments with the link. I mean, how helpful is that? Anytime I want. I'm the king here. I'm the god. I mean, I'm the progressive customer god. Anytime I want, I can just come in here and check it. 4 a.m. If I'm like stuck in a subway, like in New York City because my flight was canceled and I am like bored and I'm trying to figure out if I remembered to pay my insurance last week, I can just check anytime I want. If I have internet access, even if I don't have internet access, I could just have cell phone access. So anytime, that's nice to know. They give me a confirmation number, bold confirmation number. They've got a bunch of bold headers here. The headers are confirmation number, amount, with the how much I paid, exactly, clearly. You know what? I'm going to rant here. You would be shocked, dear listener, how many times they do not put the amount that you just paid in the like payment screen at the end. So all UX writers out there, I call on all of my friends in the UX writing world, make a checklist. I know you have one already, but just check the checklist and make sure that in the payment screen, it says the amount that the user just paid. There's another subheader that says account. It says checking account ending in XXXX. I'm not going to give you that information. There's a date subheader, the date that it is that I paid. This happened to be July 26th, 2024. This was a year and a half ago or so that I grabbed this screenshot for this very podcast. It shows you how long I've been planning on this podcast. All right. Now we are really into the weeds here. 18 minutes in, time check. Stay with me here. If you're almost to your destination, you're driving and listening to this. If you're almost done with your workout, keep pushing hard. Get that calories burned. Anyway, we're almost done with this episode. I'm about to announce the awards after a couple more progressive screens. But honestly, I might spend a little bit extra time in this podcast talking about progressive because I just love them so much. There's underneath the details of the payment, there's a yellow strip box, like a cross banner box that says, don't forget, bold, : we're submitting this payment today, but it may take a few days before it's deducted from your payment account. I mean, can you be more helpful than this message? I don't think that you can. There's another gray, subtle subhead that says, what's next? It's just a little tidbit, just sprinkle of salt on this payment screen, and it just says, a bullet point, which is great to put in bullet points. There's a lot of research about bullet points. We'll send you an email confirmation of your transaction and your updated payment schedule. Thank you. That's all I really wanted. And I mean, I don't even know if I really do want the email, but I guess it's probably good for my files. And there's one other thing that I'm going to say, the icing on the cake here on this screen is there's a box to the right that's blue, very, very simple. And the header says automatic payments. The subcopy says one less, are you ready for this? One less thing to think about. One less thing to think about. And it says enroll, the button. We're just going to take a second and look at just in awe of this message. One less thing to think about. This may need to be submitted. I'm going to be the first to submit this in the awards. This piece of microcopy is going to be in the Smithsonian someday when the London Museum. I'll be in London next month. I'm going to check out some museums for the first time. If there's any museums, there's anything having to do with international culture, internet culture, tech culture, I will talk to the curator there. I will bring a hard copy of this piece of microcopy and I will submit this to the London Museum that I find. I probably won't do that but I definitely will not do that. But I'm trying to emphasize how good this is. One less thing to think about. One of the reasons this is so good, maybe the main one, maybe the only one, is just because it tells you, as a customer from the company, we get it, okay? We don't want to waste your time. We know you're busy. We know the last thing you want to do is do all this auto insurance stuff. And so we're actually going to do something to help you. There's a button that says enroll. And this is just so beautiful. Moving on. This is a great screen here. Let's talk about, this is if you're updating a vehicle. I could literally spend hours all day on Progressive's site, and I actually have. I literally have. I've just clicked around. So this is a screen where you want to update your vehicle, which happens from time to time when you want to get in that sweet new ride, when December is the season to remember, the Lexus event of the year. Christmas is just around the corner, and you're about to get in that new Honda CR-V. Do they still make those? So you've got a new vehicle and you want to update it. So you come on this Progressive site. It says the header is, when would you like this vehicle updated? I'm just going to take a second here to talk about the power of a question. Spare me 1 minute here. One of the greatest things that you can do as a UX writer is change your headers from statements that can just be long, like noun strings, and hard to sift through and understand and decipher. Change it to a question. Specifically, and most importantly, on onboarding flows, if you just have a bunch of like headers and statements, and it's like a lot of times the user is like, what are they asking me? Like, as opposed to, like, if you think about, you're on the street downtown and walking around Broadway in Nashville, which is nuts, but someone comes up to you and they're taking a survey and they say, we're doing a survey and we would like to understand more details about the size of your shoes. You're like, wait, okay, the survey, I just heard a survey, I heard something about shoes, size. If someone comes up to you as instead and says, what shoe size do you wear? I mean, I wouldn't personally tell someone that sensitive information if they just came up to me on the street. But if it was my friend or something, I knew they had a good reason, they were working on a project, a research study about shoe sizes. What's your shoe size? 9.5. I just told you. Dang it. It's very easy to answer that question. It's very easy to answer questions. When would you like this vehicle updated? Oh, okay. I understand exactly what this page is for. Another quick thing from some of the UX writing books out there. What is this page for? Everyone on the internet is wondering this. Everyone on the smartphones are wondering this. And we have to find ways to tell people. And sometimes you can give visual clues with emojis and stuff like that. But most of the time in today's day and age, we still have to use these frickin' words and throw these words in there and make it clear what is the point of this page. So ask a question. Sprinkle. I've had whole setup flows where I wrote all of it in questions, which I can help you with at Straight Edge Content Design. This page says, when would you like this vehicle updated? The next line is so great too. I even put a red star next to it when I drew it on the screenshot. It says, this detail helps to make sure your pricing is accurate, so we ask for it up front. I mean, they're telling us why they're asking, which is always another great rule, and they're saying we're trying to help you to make sure the pricing is accurate. Great, thank you. I don't want to pay more. They just get it. The people at Progressive, please, 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 whoever is working at Progressive, DM me on LinkedIn. I am going to interview as soon as I physically can. I will run to your house. I will not actually run to your house, but I will run to set up a Zoom link for you, if that's how we do it with podcasts. And I'm going to interview and ask you, what are you What are you putting in your coffee? What kind of brain power are you what supplements are you taking to write this kind of amazing microcopy? Then there's another just the standard, all fields are required unless marked as optional. It's nice to say that ahead of the game, though. I kind of like that. And then it says date to update vehicle with the form, just a little field. And then it says continue, so clear button, nothing really else to say there, but love it, love it, love it, love it. If I could give them 12 out of 10, I would. I've got a couple more things here. This is a longer episode, and then we are going to talk about the awards, and we will get you on with your day. This is a pop-up or something that happened when I was sitting on the page. Oh, wow. Okay, this is when I was on this page clicking around for hours. You remember I told you that? Well, I was sitting on this page for so long that they kicked me off. And they said, there's an hourglass illustration, and it says, time's up. Remember that all done? Exclamation point one. Now they've got another 2-word. You know what? Progressives also the queens of 2-word sentences. Time's up. But then it's kind of negative, but it's kind of exciting, like a game, like I'm playing charades or something with my friends. The body copy says, your session timed out because we haven't seen any activity in a while. To be safe, we logged you out of your account. Ready to start again? Question mark. Well, don't mind if I do. I definitely will start that session again, Progressive, so I can sit on your website all day. There's a lot going on here. It's not going to take us a long time to cover. It just says very clearly, some people say the number one rule for UX writing is clarity. I tend to think it's more like empathy, warmth, and stuff like that. But I do think clarity, we can talk about that sometime. But it's really not a big deal either way. It has to be clear. This just says your session timed out. Just why? Well, because we haven't seen any activity in a while. Well, here's what I want to tell you, Progressive. I had your page up. You need to change the timeout limit here because your UX writing is too good. I left the page up on the other second screen that I have set up so I could just be inspired. And I need it to be up for a while. I just need to... So... update that, please. And then it says to be safe. Again, they're thinking about me. They're keeping my safety. Number one, all they think about is my safety. They logged me out of my account. All right, well, I can log back in. And ready to start again, it's positive. So they're spinning it around positive, and then the call to action says, I avoided the acronyms. I don't have to donate to charity. But if you want me to still donate to charity, I'll donate $1 to your charity. Even if you do an acronym. So in this episode, just this once, I will donate $1 to your charity. It's the call to action says log back in. Almost done with Progressive. Are you ready for it? You know what? We've gone a long time on this one. I'm breaking my rules. 29 minutes. I'm going to save some more. We're going to do something that we have never done over here at Killer UX Writing. In all of the episodes, all 4 of them, we're going to roll this to next episode, and I am going to announce this super exciting, super proprietary awards categories. So, if you're driving, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to find this later on LinkedIn or on my website or something in the show notes. I'll put them in the show notes. And later when you're not driving, you can check these categories out. And you can think about if there's something, something, some entity that you want to nominate for any of these categories. I need your help. This does not just have to be submitted by UX writers, content designers. Anyone listening, I'm opening it up. Anyone listening can submit your nominations for the drum roll, sip of liquid death. You can submit your nominations for the first annual Killer UX Writing Awards, category number 1. company with the best overall UX writing. The company with the best overall UX writing. Number 2, the best UX writer. Number 1. Number 3, the best money-making case study. We do bring in extra money for your company. We are going to prove it with lots of case studies. You're not going to be ready for it. Next year, we're going to have so much stuff. A lot of exciting stuff going on over here. And I'm going to need all of your help, UX writers, to submit your things. We'll talk about that later. But this third category is called Best Money Making Case Study. Number 4, best emails. I know sometimes we maybe don't always write the emails. Maybe it's more marketing, maybe it's copywriters, but I still find that as a UX writer who's done copywriting before and who's done blog posts and who's done ad copy and who's done I think I actually have done billboards. I can, writers write. Writers are going to write, so we write emails, and I want to see your best emails. I've got some ideas about some of the ones that I want to submit, but I want to see the ones that you find. That's number 4. Number 5, the last one, there's 5 categories. Best single piece of microcopy. We want to see it. Send it in. Where are you going to send this? Well, I'm going to tell you right now at okay. This is where you send it. awards@KillerUXWriting.com. awards@KillerUXWriting.com. Send in your nominations. We will announce the winners in some kind of ceremony in mid-December is what we're going to do. Until next time, I'll see you soon.